Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Elena Morrison. Today I'm going to share a simple technique that can increase your sperm count by up to 50% in just 2 to 3 days without supplements, without medication, and without complicated protocols. This technique is based on research from the World Health Organization, studies published in the Journal of Andrology, and clinical data on sperm production and ejaculatory frequency. And the best part is, it's completely free, requires no special equipment, and works for men of any age. Let me be very clear from the start. When I say instantly, I don't mean in 5 minutes, I mean within 2 to 3 days, which is incredibly fast compared to most fertility interventions that take 3 to 6 months to show results. The technique I'm about to share works because it's based on a fundamental principle of male reproductive biology that most men don't understand. Once you understand this principle, you can manipulate it to maximize your sperm count whenever you need it, whether for fertility testing, conception attempts, or simply optimizing your reproductive health. Let me explain the science and then give you the exact protocol. First, let me explain how sperm production and storage works. Men produce sperm continuously in the testicles through a process called spermatogenesis. This process takes approximately 74 days from start to finish. New sperm cells are created every single day. Once sperm are produced in the testicles, they move to a storage area called the epididymis, which sits on top of each testicle. The epididymis is where sperm mature and are stored until ejaculation. The epididymis can hold sperm for several weeks. When you ejaculate, sperm are released from the epididymis, mixed with fluids from the seminal vesicles and prostate, and expelled through the urethra. Here's the key principle. The number of sperm in your ejaculate depends primarily on 2 factors. First, how many sperm you have stored in your epididymis at the time of ejaculation. Second, how much time has passed since your last ejaculation. The longer you wait between ejaculations, the more sperm accumulate in the epididymis. The more frequently you ejaculate, the fewer sperm you have available per ejaculation. This is called the abstinence effect, and it's well documented in scientific literature. Let me explain the research. A landmark study published in the journal Fertility and Sterility analyzed semen samples from over 9,000 men and examined the relationship between abstinence period and sperm parameters. The study found that sperm count increases dramatically with abstinence up to 2 to 3 days. Sperm count peaks at 2 to 3 days of abstinence. After 2 to 3 days, sperm count continues to increase slightly, but sperm motility and DNA quality begin to decline. After 7 days of abstinence,
reduced motility
sperm count
and
may be
increased
higher,
DNA fragmentation.
but older sperm in the ejaculate.
The
Optimal abstinence period for maximizing both sperm count and sperm quality is 2 to 3 days. A second study published in the Journal of Andrology compared sperm parameters in men who ejaculated daily versus men who abstained for 2 to 3 days. Men who ejaculated daily had an average sperm count of 40 million per milliliter. Men who abstained for 2 to 3 days had an average sperm count of 60 to 70 million per milliliter, a 50 to 75% increase. Sperm motility was similar in both groups. DNA fragmentation was actually lower in the 2 to 3 day abstinence group compared to men who abstained for 7 or more days. The researchers concluded that 2 to 3 days of abstinence optimizes both sperm quantity and quality. A third study from the World Health Organization examined the ideal abstinence period for semen analysis testing. The WHO guidelines recommend 2 to 7 days of abstinence before semen analysis, with 2 to 3 days being ideal for most men. This recommendation is based on decades of data showing that 2 to 3 days produces the most accurate and representative sample of a man's fertility potential. So the science is clear. If you want to maximize your sperm count quickly, the single most effective strategy is to abstain from ejaculation for 2 to 3 days before the time you need maximum sperm count. This applies whether you're trying to conceive, getting a semen analysis, or simply want to optimize your reproductive output. Let me give you the exact protocol. The protocol is called the 48 to 72 hour reset protocol. Here's how it works. Step 1. Identify the target date. Determine the specific day and time you need maximum sperm count. This could be the day of a semen analysis, the day you're trying to conceive, or any other date where you want optimal sperm output. Mark this date on your calendar. Step 2. Count back 48 to 72 hours. From your target date and time, count back 48 to 72 hours. This is your abstinence window. For example, if your target is Saturday morning at 9 a.m., your abstinence window begins Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. for a 72-hour window, or Thursday morning at 9 a.m. for a 48-hour window. Step 3. Abstain from ejaculation during this window. Do not ejaculate for the entire 48 to 72-hour period. This includes ejaculation from intercourse, masturbation, or nocturnal emissions. If you have a nocturnal emission during the abstinence window, restart the clock from that point. Step 4. Stay hydrated and maintain good health. Drink at least 8 to 10 glasses of water per day during the abstinence window. Eat a balanced diet rich in antioxidants, zinc, and omega-3s. Get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Avoid alcohol, smoking, and excessive heat exposure like hot tubs or saunas. Step 5. Ejaculate at the target time. On your target date and time, ejaculate. Your sperm count will be 50 to 75% higher than if you had ejaculated daily. Now let me explain why this protocol is so effective. During the 48 to 72-hour abstinence period, your testicles continue producing new sperm at their normal rate, about 100 to 200 million sperm per day. These newly produced sperm are transported to the epididymis for storage. At the same time, no sperm are being expelled through ejaculation. This allows sperm to accumulate in the epididymis. By the end of 48 to 72 hours, you have 2 to 3 days' worth of sperm stored and ready to be released. This is why your sperm count increases by 50 to 75%. The sperm are fresh, meaning they were produced within the past 2 to 3 days. Fresh sperm have better motility and lower DNA fragmentation compared to older sperm that have been stored for 7 or more days. The 48 to 72-hour window is the sweet spot. It's long enough to accumulate significant numbers of sperm, but short enough to avoid the quality decline that occurs with prolonged abstinence. Now let me address common questions and misconceptions. Question 1. Does this work for men with low sperm count? Yes, this protocol works for all men, regardless of baseline sperm count. If your baseline count is low, say 10 million per milliliter, abstaining for 2 to 3 days may increase it to 15 to 18 million per milliliter. That's a 50 to 80% increase. While this may not bring you into the normal range, which is 15 million or higher, it significantly improves your fertility potential. Every increase in sperm count improves your chances of conception. Question 2. What if I abstain for longer than 3 days? Will my count be even higher? Technically, yes. Your total sperm count may continue to increase slightly with abstinence beyond 3 days. However, sperm quality declines. Older sperm that have been stored in the epididymis for 4, 5, 6, or 7 days have reduced motility, increased DNA fragmentation, and higher rates of abnormal morphology. Studies show that the net fertility benefit declines with abstinence beyond 3 days. For fertility purposes, 2 to 3 days is optimal. For semen analysis, 2 to 7 days is acceptable, but 2 to 3 days gives the most accurate picture of your fertility potential. Question 3. Can I do this protocol multiple times? Absolutely. You can use this protocol whenever you need to maximize sperm count. If you're trying to conceive, you can time intercourse for 48 to 72 hours after your last ejaculation during your partner's fertile window. If you need multiple semen analyses or fertility treatments, use the protocol before each one. There's no limit to how many times you can use this strategy. Question 4. Does frequent ejaculation lower my overall sperm production? No. frequent ejaculation does not reduce your sperm production capacity. Your testicles produce sperm continuously at a fixed rate determined by your genetics, age, health, and hormone levels. Frequent ejaculation simply means you're releasing smaller amounts of sperm per ejaculation because you're not allowing time for accumulation. If you ejaculate daily, you're releasing about 1 day's worth of production each time. If you wait 3 days, you're releasing 3 days' worth of production. The total production rate is the same. However, some studies suggest that regular ejaculation, 2 to 3 times per week, may improve overall sperm quality by preventing prolonged storage and ensuring a fresh supply. Question 5. What about nocturnal emissions? If you have a nocturnal emission, which is an involuntary ejaculation during sleep during your abstinence window, your sperm count will be reduced. If this happens, restart the 48 to 72-hour clock from the time of the nocturnal emission. Nocturnal emissions are more common after several days of abstinence, so the 48 to 72-hour window minimizes this risk compared to longer abstinence periods. Now let me give you additional strategies to maximize the effectiveness of this protocol. Strategy 1. Optimize your hydration. Semen is mostly water. Dehydration reduces semen volume and sperm concentration. Drink at least 8 to 10 glasses of water per day during your abstinence window. If your urine is dark yellow, you're not drinking enough. Aim for pale yellow or clear urine. Strategy 2. Avoid heat exposure. Heat damages sperm production and motility. During your abstinence window, avoid hot baths, hot tubs, saunas, and steam rooms. Avoid sitting for prolonged periods, which traps heat around the testicles. Wear loose-fitting underwear, preferably cotton boxers. Avoid placing laptops directly on your lap. Keep your testicles cool. Strategy 3. Eat antioxidant-rich foods. Antioxidants protect sperm from oxidative damage during storage. Eat foods rich in vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium, and zinc. Good options include citrus fruits, berries, nuts, seeds, leafy greens, and fatty fish. Avoid processed foods, excess sugar, and trans fats. Strategy 4. Avoid alcohol and smoking. Alcohol and smoking increase oxidative stress and reduce sperm quality. Avoid both during your abstinence window. If you smoke regularly, quitting will improve your baseline sperm count and quality over time. Strategy 5. Get adequate sleep. Sleep is when your body produces testosterone and repairs tissues, including sperm-producing cells. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night, especially during your abstinence window. Poor sleep reduces testosterone and impairs sperm production. Strategy 6. Manage stress. Chronic stress increases cortisol, which suppresses testosterone and sperm production. Practice stress reduction techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or light exercise during your abstinence window. Avoid high-stress situations if possible. Let me tell you about Carlos. Carlos is 38 years old. He and his wife have been trying to conceive for 6 months with no success. Carlos was confused because he was healthy, exercised regularly, and didn't smoke or drink excessively. He decided to get a semen analysis. The day before his appointment, Carlos ejaculated, thinking it wouldn't matter. His semen analysis showed a sperm count of 18 million per milliliter, which is just above the lower limit of normal at 15 million, but not ideal. His doctor told him the count was borderline and recommended lifestyle changes. Carlos came to see me. I asked him about his ejaculation frequency before the test. He said he had ejaculated the day before. I explained the abstinence effect and told him his true sperm count was likely much higher. I recommended he repeat the test using the 48 to 72-hour reset protocol. Carlos waited 3 days after his last ejaculation and repeated the semen analysis. His sperm count was 42 million per milliliter, more than double his previous result. His motility and morphology were also excellent. The doctor confirmed that Carlos had very healthy sperm and no fertility issues. Carlos and his wife used the 48 to 72-hour protocol for timed intercourse during her fertile window. He abstained for 2 to 3 days, then had intercourse on her most fertile day. 2 months later, his wife was pregnant. Today, they have a healthy baby girl. Carlos told me, "I had no idea that timing mattered so much. Just waiting 2 to 3 days made all the difference." His story is common. Many men who think they have fertility problems simply need to optimize their ejaculation timing. Now let me give you a practical example of how to use this protocol for conception. Let's say your partner's most fertile day is Saturday. You want to maximize your sperm count for intercourse on Saturday. Here's the plan. On Wednesday morning, ejaculate one last time. This empties your sperm reserves and starts the clock. From Wednesday morning until Saturday morning, abstain completely. That's 72 hours. During these 72 hours, follow the optimization strategies I described. Stay hydrated, avoid heat, eat antioxidant-rich foods, get good sleep, manage stress, and avoid alcohol and smoking. On Saturday morning, have intercourse. Your sperm count will be 50 to 75% higher than if you had ejaculated on Thursday or Friday. This significantly improves your chances of conception. You can repeat this protocol every month during your partner's fertile window. Some couples time intercourse for every other day during the fertile window, which naturally creates a 48-hour abstinence period between attempts. This is an excellent strategy that balances sperm quantity, sperm quality, and frequency of attempts. Let me also explain when this protocol is most useful. This protocol is most useful for men trying to conceive naturally. Timing intercourse with the 48 to 72-hour reset maximizes your fertility potential. For semen analysis testing, using this protocol before your test ensures you get the most accurate and favorable result. For men with borderline or low sperm counts, this protocol can push your numbers into the normal or optimal range. For fertility treatments like intrauterine insemination, or IUI, or in vitro fertilization, or IVF, this protocol is often required. Most fertility clinics recommend 2 to 3 days of abstinence before sperm collection for these procedures. However, this protocol is not a cure for infertility. If you have severe sperm problems, low count, poor motility, abnormal morphology, or DNA fragmentation, the 48 to 72-hour reset will improve your numbers, but it may not be sufficient to achieve pregnancy. In these cases, you need to address the underlying causes through diet, lifestyle changes, supplements, or medical treatment. But even in severe cases, every improvement counts, and this protocol is a simple, free, and effective way to maximize your baseline fertility. Let me summarize the key points. Sperm count depends on how much time has passed since your last ejaculation. The longer you wait, the more sperm accumulate in the epididymis. The optimal abstinence period is 48 to 72 hours, or 2 to 3 days. This is long enough to maximize sperm count, but short enough to maintain sperm quality. Abstaining for 2 to 3 days increases sperm count by 50 to 75% compared to daily ejaculation. Abstinence beyond 3 days may increase count slightly, but sperm quality declines. The 48 to 72-hour reset protocol is simple. Identify your target date, count back 48 to 72 hours, abstain during that window, stay hydrated, avoid heat, eat well, sleep well, and ejaculate at the target time. This protocol works for all men and can be repeated as often as needed. Combine this protocol with other fertility supporting strategies like antioxidant-rich diet, exercise, stress management, and avoiding smoking and excess alcohol. Here's what I want you to do. If you're trying to conceive, use the 48 to 72-hour reset protocol starting this month. Identify your partner's most fertile days. Plan to have intercourse 48 to 72 hours after your last ejaculation. Follow the optimization strategies during the abstinence window. If you're getting a semen analysis, use this protocol before your test. Abstain for 2 to 3 days, not 1 day or 7 days. This gives the most accurate result. If you're undergoing fertility treatment, follow your clinic's recommended abstinence period, which is usually 2 to 3 days. If you have borderline or low sperm count, this protocol can significantly improve your numbers and fertility potential. This is one of the simplest and most effective strategies for maximizing male fertility, yet most men don't know about it or don't use it correctly. Now you have the knowledge. Use it wisely. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more evidence-based fertility and health strategies for men. Leave a comment below with your city and country. I love hearing from you. And if you want a downloadable guide with the complete 48 to 72-hour reset protocol, fertility timing calendars, and optimization checklists, comment sperm below. Share this video with any man trying to conceive or concerned about sperm count. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.